Russian OPFOR has claimed a critical airfield territory in Ukraine and has fortified its perimeter to deny its takeback. Under their control, the entire war theater is at risk of being overwhelmed, as Ukraine air operations are severely hindered without this key terrain. To aggressively charge back into the land, AFU Light Infantry comprised a team to breach the trenches to be able to slash Russian defenses. Accompanied by patrol base and fire team tactics, the 10th Mountain Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine planned to decimate the opposition with close-range counters and a wide array of explosive tricks up their sleeves. In short, they are staged to accomplish the following tasks: escort battlefield personnel and equipment to the front line, maintain a fire support base to soften up the defense, and raid the airfield to tear down Russian infrastructure and assets. Operation Cossack Blitz demonstrates how to supplement old-school trench warfare with modern-day tech.
G90 down! Nice turret toss.
Divert, taking left.
The team decides that taking the northern approach will be the most advantageous for the infantry and cargo, passing by scattered patrols in the woods leading to the contested airfield.
Shot landed, white side.
The high-capacity variant BRDM-2L1 acts as both a QRF asset and reconnaissance resource, seen here following the squads closely and returning gunfire whilst mobile.
Alright, 1-2 is going to get into a oversight position as best we can, and we'll let 1-1 raid.
Yep, pull back 2-1, is it coming? You do have contacts to your northeast as well.
Hopok 1-1 and 1-2 dismount outside the target area, and Hopok 2 positions themselves for counterattack.
Audio on MTLB.
Direction.
Somewhere by the airfield. I don't have specifics.
So you have a 82A north of your position.
As anticipated, Hopok 1 struggles to ascend the high ground on foot when the scout car is busy responding to heavier threats.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need help here. They're overwhelming our position.
The engine and track sounds of an enemy IFV are heard patrolling the airfield proper, which slows down the progress of establishing the trench line fob.
Yeah, we're being pinned down by the IFV here. We need a good shot on that. The BRDM could take care of it if it could jump on it.
We will not be able to survive that. The cannon is way too powerful.
You got the hat going down, or do you want me to do it? Go ahead and place it. Alright.
Watchtower to your south, 3 is empty, Palin.
Infantry just killed 1 times infantry on me.
After breaking through the initial defense, Ukrainians dig up the fortifications needed to hold this key terrain: sandbag walls, Haskell blocks, and tripoded GMGs. Just in time, too, as the Russian BMP already starts targeting Blue 4's location. The valuable trench line, still controlled by the AFU, is guarded by the BRDM's agile sweeps, which pushes the Russians back enough to sustain friendly reinforcement waves. It's not the enemy in the trenches posing the biggest threat. Instead, it's the MGs and marksmen on the high ground that have a wide view of the entire battlefield. But once they get close enough to PID the armor, the Assault Brigade develops a hasty plan to outmaneuver the slow tracks of the hostile IFV.
Oh, never mind. This is like, yeah, it's a BMP.
We can't take that.
Destroyed and killed. Check maps for machine gun bunkers. Just got intel on them.
To rear side. Hop back 2-1, 2 hop back 1-1, hop back 1-2.
Shot. Go on. Yep.
Again, might be a good idea to have a full sudden push. We can mechanize in.
Expecting more armored defenders, AFU infantry on the front dig in deeper, throwing down their proprietary ATGM launchers, the Stugna P, which can be fired remotely via handheld control unit.
BMD-1, I'm on my observe. BMD... Alright, firing, Stugna. Hit on the BMD-1. BMD-1's on fire.
Copy, I'll get down.
Sorry, not Churchill.
The Stugna P still has to be rearmed manually, but having the remote control unit allows the user to multitask whilst preserving their life behind solid cover. The 10th Mountain Assault Brigade finds success in striking armor with missiles under OPFOR small arms fire, but is still susceptible to being overrun without proper security in place.
Visual BMD-2 down south of runway. Near to Hopak 2-1, observe.
Got a large, yep. I got a massive infantry on my observe. Shifting north.
Meanwhile, the raid team communicates with Hopak 2 to arrange a push in conjunction with parallel squads.
Hopak 1-2, most of your lads are currently in camp. We can pick you up and drop you with a fuckload of fire.
At the same time, Ukrainian T-64 pair gets staged outside the airfield to scare away any Russians holding the rear.
1, 2, how spicy are you feeling? Are you feeling only a Gorma,
Sure.
a Masala, or a Vindaloo?
California Reaper.
How much do you boys want to be inside that radio marker?
Needing an extra push, Hopak 2 deploys the BTR-4 IFV, which features a stronger cannon and thicker armor. Their plan is to hot drop forces following a bomb airdrop to finally take the admin area. Upon hearing the code word Lelika, the airstrike payload of 2 550-pound bombs is delivered on target, which enables the team to capture the first of 2 airfield radios.
Careful on the building north, BMD-4.
King, are you able to kind of... I know you're dealing with a lot. Are you able to kind of scout out that radio for us? Not even
flying about it. We're one tap.
Oh, copy.
The intel I give you right now, though, was the fighting vehicle heavy that we had seen was chasing us. He was on south side.
Eager to maintain momentum, Hopak 1 moves on foot to get a better angle on the hangar area, but walks into an ambush set by Russians postured on the high ground with a deadly T-90 main battle tank.
Armored Vic down the road.
A Ukrainian LAT quickly reacts by damaging the tank's tracks as their trenchline flank is compromised, but Russians retaliate with a precision airstrike of their own.
Holy shit!
With such suboptimal terrain, ground forces take a more stealthy approach, and while still unsure where the tank has repositioned, slowly creep forward to envelop the hangar area.
Tank is back from its mark on the road. Location unknown.
If you can mobilize, we'll be able to scout.
Hopak 2 zooms behind enemy lines to offer resupply of NLAW rockets, hoping the HAT can knock out the T-90 from the concealment of the foliage.
Tank is doubly on my move marker.
Hopak 1 corners the Russian MBT, giving it very few places to hide as it is pummeled by LAT rockets. The tank receives significant damage but is able to limp itself to a nearby repair site for fire extinguishment and critical component recovery, dodging close-range AT in the process.
T-90's up there.
Overwhelmed with conflicting information over comms, Hopak 2 nearby in the BTR needs to wait to strike the T-90 until the exact moment it is at its weakest.
IFV, inside.
Yep, it looks like it's an unoccupied.
Don't bother pushing it, let's go around. The hab is second from south.
Meanwhile, AFU infantry breach the hangar compound and begin identifying critical assets for an aggressive destruction push.
That's a double team there. Good job.
Starting with abandoned armor, then moving on to the command radio terminal, the men ensure the Russians stand zero chance to recover from this fight.
Yep, marking.
One squad performs overwatch and recon, while the other squad keeps shovels on the radio and rearms any Russian emplaced weapons so they can use them against OPFOR.
They're digging the radio back up now. It's on my move marker.
Killer, was it internal?
Yes. Orders don't fire when I said repeat. Please don't punish me.
At last, the AFU has the entire objective area surrounded, so scouts can quickly call for fire on what remains.
Take his engine, take his engine. Take his decrewed.
Back at the Russian rep station, the T-90 is still working on getting mobility restored.
It is not.
Hopok 2 full sends it, gambling the AFU's highly valued asset at the most decisive moment in the battle.
Do we have another bombing run ready? I might just hold bombing run on the T-90. Its engine. You gotta shoot gas with the 30 mil.
Though the BTR was lost, Ukraine now has an opportunity to hit the T-90 and its precious repair station with another bomb airdrop, as infantry keep it pinned down with OPFOR ATGM fires. Hopok 2 gets back in the fight to harass the tank just moments before the final Leleka is called in. Su-25 en route to drop warheads on foreheads to finish this battle.
Tank is dead and stuff.
Operation Cossack Blitz, a hard-fought victory, motherland territory reclaimed. A lesson in overcoming a harsh environment with explosive firepower.
Good work. No.